Okay everybody, so today we're going to be doing a video on the US model 1903 A3 Springfield rifle, although this one was made by Remington. So the 1903s were being made by Springfield and Rock Island Arsenal during World War I, and Remington was not producing them because they were making the 1917 Enfields. So after World War I, Rock Island Arsenal started scaling back their production of 1903s and weren't making as many. And after World War II started, the British really needed rifles, so they had a contract they were going to do with Remington to make 1903s chambered in .303 British. So they Remington got the tooling from Rock Island Arsenal to start using, and they were just starting to figure out how to rechamber the rifles as .303 British when the British decided, we've got enough number 4 production going, we don't need them anymore. And after that, the US gave Remington a contract to start making 1903 Springfield rifles, and they started making those in 1942, and after those it was determined that the 1903, the regular ones, took too much time to make because the rear sights were more complicated, they had more complicated barrel bands, so they decided to simplify it and start making the 1903 A3s, which have the rear aperture sight and simpler millings and stamp parts and stuff like that, just to simplify production as much as possible. And they started making these in 1942 as well. The first one started coming out, I believe it was May of 1942. And this rifle we have here was made in September of 1943. And these 1903 rifles are cock-on open and feed from 5-round stripper clips. They're chambered in .30-06 Springfield. So these rifles are fairly interesting, as they're basically a copy of the Mauser rifles. On this position over here, the flag is on fire, and then on this one it's safe. And it's actually marked safe and ready on the selector, so you know when you're on fire and safe. And if we come around here and flip this around, not pointed at anyone, we can see that on this side we have a on-off switch, a magazine cutoff, and right now it's in the off position, so if you pull your bolt back, your follower won't snag your bolt. And then if you switch it to the on position, it'll catch your follower and lock your bolt open. And if you switch it to the mid position, they'll allow your bolt to come out of the rifle. So that's how your selector works. And we've also got our rear aperture sight that they put on these rifles. It's somewhat reminiscent of the M1 carbine sight, more so than the M1 Grand sight. You can see our front post up here. Very thin front post. And we've got our bayonet right here to go on here. It used M1 Grand bayonets, which the first of the M1 Grand bayonets were cut down 1903 bayonets. So that's what the bayonet that they use. And we've also still got an original leather sling on this. And these rifles would be produced by Remington pretty much until the end of the war. And they made a couple million of them. And they're real nice, accurate rifles. And we've also got a trap door in the butt plate, which it would have an oiler inside. We're not going to open that right now because that's a bit of a hassle. But yeah, there's not too much else to say about these, so let's get into shooting at some. Alright, we're going to start off by loading 5 rounds. This stripper clip we've got is an actual brass World War I stripper clip. Now I've heard before that the steel stripper clips don't work quite as well as the brass ones. Although with the brass ones you do have to worry about these tabs, but... And one more thing I want to say before we shoot is we're shooting surplus 30-06 ammo, M2 ball ammo. And if you want to shoot one of these rifles, don't use full power loads by Winchester, Federal, or any of those places. Get special M2 ball loads. Seller and Bellot make some that you can find easily, or you could find the surplus ammo, but just don't fire full power loads with this. The action apparently isn't that strong. Action is being a bit stiff. That's all 5 of them. Okay, here's our group. The first one, second one, third one, and we got these 2 on the plate. It's fairly tight, just a bit off to the left. Alright, now we're going to shoot a 3-round group, and we've got 2 in the magazine to show off the magazine cutoff. And what it's doing is it's not letting your bolt far enough back to pick them up off of the magazine. So, they had the magazine cut off on the rifles, basically planning to fire in lines, like basically in the Civil War and Revolutionary War. But that's not how modern combat worked out for them. So then, with your magazine cut off, flip your switch, and then you can pull it all the way back and load it around. That's our 3-round group. that's our next group. We got 2 on the plate, 1 just off the plate. Pretty good group. Alright, we're gonna load up another 5 rounds. We've drifted our sight, so hopefully we'll be a bit more on target now. These rounds are actually feeding. I'm guessing since it's surplus ammo that last bit of ammo was just a bit dirty. Last one got a snag. That's all of them. Alright, this is our next group, and we got 4 of them on the plate. One of them is actually halfway on the plate. That's a pretty good group. We got it more on center now. Okay, we got our round in the chamber. Down here at 100 yards. We're out of ammo, so we're clear. We'll put it on safe. Now we've got our bayonet over here. Pull this out. So that solved the problem. Alright, that's going to be it for the video. We had a lot of fun with the 1903 A3 Springfield. And these are quite nice rifles, quite accurate. And they have their own corks with their on-off switch magazine cutoff and their ready safe selector. It's a bit idiot-proof in that sense, but you do have to make sure that you're using proper M2 ball ammo or an M2 ball replicate. The sights on these were a bit interesting. They had 5 different front sights marked A through E, and they're basically taller and shorter is what the difference is. And your bayonet lug will actually have a cutout here for your front sight. That way when you're taking it off, you can flip it around and slide it out, because on most rifles, if you want to take off your front barrel band, you have to take off your sight completely, but it has a cutout for it. And that's going to be it for the video. We had a lot of fun with this. Let us know if you want to see any more out of the 03A3, or maybe a US Rifles video with the 03A3, the 1917, and the M1 Grand. And yeah, that's going to be it for the video, so catch y'all in the next one.